Good afternoon, I'm Frank Fitzpatrick, and I'm here to talk to you about the Krebs cycle. And here's a picture of Sir Hans Krebs on his cycle. So we all need energy, and we need the food we eat to be converted into energy. So the Krebs cycle is one of the cycles that does this. Now it seems very complicated, it's a lot of large words that are difficult to say, so I'm going to break it down. The whole purpose of this is to turn sugars into ATP molecules, which are energies for the cell. It runs in the cell's mitochondria. Here's an overall picture of the cycle and how glucose is converted into the ATPs. The cycle actually starts with the acetyl-CoA molecule. The acetyl-CoA molecule is combined with the oxaloacetate molecule. I'll talk later about where that molecule comes from. With the enzyme citrate synthase, it creates citrate. We now have the citrate, along with the enzyme aconitase, becomes isocitrate. Then we use the enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase to create alpha-ketoglutarate. That process there creates an NADH, which indirectly will create ATP, is what we're trying to get. Then we have the alpha-ketoglutarate, along with the enzyme alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, creates succinyl-CoA. That process there creates another NADH, which again indirectly creates ATP, which we're trying to get. We then use the enzyme succinyl-CoA synthase, which creates the succinate. That process creates an ATP. We then have the succinate along with the succinate dehydrogenase, creates fumarate. The fumarate with the fumarase enzyme will create malate. That process creates FADH2, which also indirectly creates an ATP molecule. We have the malate, along with the malate dehydrogenase, creates the oxaloacetate. That process creates an NADH molecule, which indirectly creates ATP. Now, if you remember, we started this whole thing with the oxaloacetate, and that's where we're at now, which gets us back to the beginning of the cycle, why this thing is considered a cycle. So what do we get out of this? We get 1 glucose, and 2 cycles gives us 20 ATPs. And how do we get them? We get 2 ATPs directly, we get 6 NADHs, which convert into 15 ATPs, 2 FADH2s, which convert into 3 ATPs, and that gives us the energy we need. So how do you remember all that? Well, it's hard. So I created some silly mnemonics. For the molecules, I have a citrate is Krebs' silly substance for making oxaloacetate. For the enzymes, I have an impressive Krebs-started series from mixing citrate. So those two can at least help you get the order of the molecules and the enzymes. Well, good luck, and thanks for listening.